Hello, I'm Danny Koontz. I'm the Director of Relationship Management for Windy City Equipment. Welcome to another episode of FM Corner. Today we're going to talk about store visits. As a facility manager, what's the benefit? What do I gain? Store visits are the opportunity for you as a facility manager to do two things. One's you teach, because when you go to the location and you speak with a manager, or you speak with the director, or whoever it may be, combination of both, you're going to do a walk around of their restaurant. You're going to find opportunities to show them things that are wrong, things that could be going wrong, or how to make something better. And you're going to give them opinions, and you're going to give them lessons learned from your career over time. So you're teaching. The other part of the visit is you're going to learn. No matter how long you've been in facilities and so on, when you go to restaurants and you look and you do walk arounds, you go, how come is that way? That doesn't look right. Something's wrong. Maybe it's a design issue from when the building was built. Maybe it's an execution issue. Maybe you check on one of your vendors to make sure what they're doing in the restaurant. So they do PMs. It's a quick check of the PM to go, when were they here? 45 days ago. When are they scheduled again? 45 days. 90 days. Shouldn't look like that. Something's wrong. Let's do a follow-up and do a check. So you may discover and you learn what may be going on in your restaurant. But it's an opportunity to teach, and it's an opportunity to learn. I highly encourage going out to those locations and doing a walkthrough with the manager. When you do the walkthrough, start off silent. Let them show you what they find and what their concerns are. They'll get 10 times more value out of that than you walking around and writing down the list and hand it to them when you're done. That doesn't do them any good. Let them show you. If you see something, stand and focus on it. And just focus on it until they get it figured out. Oh, I see what you're looking at. Because they come to that location every day. They park in the same spot. They come through the back door. This is how they do it. They may not see the front of their building. They're busy. They go in, they work, they go home. They may not see the front of their building and see that there's a problem out there because they see it every day. It's kind of like you as a facility manager. Probably at your home, there are things that you don't see because you don't walk around your home every day. There's opportunities there. So show them how to do a 10-minute walkthrough around the building just to check things, to see what's going on. But let them find what you're staring at or looking at. If you've been doing facilities for a long period of time, you could probably write down 8 of the 10 items that you're going to find, and you could write it down before you ever made it to the restaurant because the problems are going to be the same. Tile and grout, write it down. Doesn't matter who you work for, wherever you are, tile and grout's going to be on every store. It just is. It's one of those things. But you're going to have several of those. Let them find things. Let them bring up to you what their questions and ideas are. You know, hey, I want to take all the booths here on the left side of the room, and I want to move them to the right, and I want to take the chairs on the left or on the right, and I want to move them to the left. What do you think? Well, you can't do that. Why can't I? Because you're going to infringe on the ADA dimensions as you come through the door if you make that change. So you can't. Oh, I didn't know that. Or the answer may be, sure you can. Tell me what you're going to get out of it. What's going to happen if you take the booths and the chairs and swap them? I'm going to get more volume. How come? What does that mean? Maybe they're right. Those people know their stores. Their idea may be great. It's like, sure, if your director approves it, go for it, if it makes sense. But maybe also you're going to ask 2 or 3 questions that they didn't because they didn't realize that. You know, hey, when you move from one side to the other, there's no carpet over there, that's tile. That's not going to look good when you make that change. Oh, didn't think about that. So it's an opportunity to teach, and it's an opportunity to pass on. But the value you get, because that general manager knows that whoever his facility manager was came to his or her location, spent time in that location, let them offer up what they think ought to be done, discussed it, the things that couldn't be done, they explained why, the things that maybe were a good idea that they could, they agreed to either take back to the office or, passed along their opinion that it's a good idea so that the restaurant could go to their director and let them know, hey, I talked to the facility manager who was here today. He said he's fine with this. There's no reason we couldn't do it. What do you think? You don't know how much value that comes with that because you were in their building. You took that time to walk with them personally. You took that time to try to help them with what goes on in their location so that the next time they have a problem and they're picking up the phone to call you, I remember, hey, Danny, you were in my restaurant 6 months ago. Yes, I was. How's that going? Did this work? Did that work? We're teammates now. It's not them calling a guy or a lady who just sits in the corporate office and has no idea about their location. No, I know your location. I went there. I visited there. Here's some work that we did. Changes that whole thing, and instead of making operations and facilities an adversarial relationship, which does neither one any good, you have used this store visit to help build teamwork. And that's what it's for. And you will learn a lot. If you have vendors that are not doing a good job and they know you're going to their area of the country, oh boy, they get really scared. That's a good thing because you can see that maybe what you're paying for is not being done on a consistent basis. And as you see that, you could call them to come and meet you at one of the locations and you can show them. And you can say, this is not acceptable. This is what I need to happen before I return on my next visit. They don't know when that is, but this is not acceptable. This is not what I'm paying for. It's not up to the standards of what I need, and I need you to help me. By the same token, that vendor may be able to come over there and say, hey, I want to show you a couple things that we're having trouble with. I don't understand why you build your bar this way, and here are the reasons why. That may be very helpful. They may show you something that you never would have known about. And you could take that back to your office or to your company and say, this is what was pointed out. He also suggested if we did this instead of that, it would be easier for them to access and work on. Is there a reason we couldn't do that? So you can use your vendor in two different ways. One, support your really good ones because they're going to come out and give you ideas, and it's an opportunity for you to meet and speak with them and talk to them and thank them for the job they do. And for your vendors who are not doing a great job, it's an opportunity to put them on notice that they need to step it up. It's also an opportunity to teach your restaurant managers about the vendors and what the vendors do and how they go about doing their work. It's a great opportunity that they're never going to hear somewhere else. But when you're standing face to face to them, you can talk to them. And it's a much easier conversation. So the values of you being in the store when you can. Again, you may have a huge area. It may be very difficult to get to, but try it. Go to an area. If you have multiple stores in that area, speak to the director. I'm coming to your area next week or in 2 weeks. I'd like to spend a day or two. Just ride around. I want to look at your locations. I want to meet with all your GMs. I want to talk to you about what you need as a director and how my department can do that. All you're doing through this whole thing is you're teaching, you're learning, and you're building teamwork. And that's what store visits are all about. Thanks for your time today. Look forward to another episode coming soon.